Please be seated. Oh, that's loud. Welcome, parents, friends, staff, faculty, the MEVSD Board of Education, Superintendent Ms. Allen, honored guests, and of course, the class of 2023. My name is Caitlin Cruikshank, and I'm grateful to be here in front of many wonderful and bright minds today. Though I do not know where to begin, I will start this with honesty. This day is something I quite literally ignored. I try to avoid thinking of the things that change this season of life. In my life, I saw friends go and new ones come forward. The true, honest friends I had not only stuck with me, but also held me up. The reality behind this is that these friends did not care what I had to give. They displayed a true selfless love. As Proverbs 18:24 says, one who has unreliable friends soon comes to ruin, but there is a friend who sticks closer than a brother. Any path after high school can completely turn our daily routine on its head. But if you have those that will support you and see you for how beautiful your soul is, you can go forward with perseverance and overcome the obstacles. I challenge everyone to find those that will stick by your side during the good and bad times. See how rewarding a friendship built on selflessness is and how it will define you in your new path. So on our last day at Marysville Schools, I want us to see how the impact of family, old and new friends, and teachers have shaped us into who we are. I just want to end by once again thanking everyone who has brought our class to where it is and has grown us as true individuals ready to begin a new path. Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Blair Fairchild from ECHS. At this time, please rise as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem by our own Marysville Band under the direction of Mr. Stephen Fannin. Please remain standing and join me in saying the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening. I'm Gigi Bix from Marysville High School. It is my pleasure to introduce the following dignitaries and guests. Please rise as your name is called and remain standing until all are recognized. Ms. Diane Allen, Superintendent, Marysville Schools. Mr. Jonathan Langhouse, Assistant Superintendent, Marysville Schools. Mr. Todd Johnson, CFO, Treasurer, Marysville Schools. Mr. Tom Holdren, Director of Academic Affairs and Principal Leadership. Mr. Mark Gallagher, Director of Continuous Improvement. Ms. Kim Jude, Director of Student Services. Mr. Tom Powers, Director of Technology. Mr. Ryan Walker, Director of Operations. Mr. Ken Chafin, Principal of Marysville High School. Ms. Katie Morgan, Assistant Principal of Marysville High School, Mr. Sean Williams, Assistant Principal, Marysville High School, Mr. Joey Day, Athletic Director, Ms. Jennifer Hinderer, Principal at Marysville Early College High School, Mr. Scott Stackhouse, Principal, Tri Academy, Ms. Michelle Koffenbarger, Principal, Bunsold Middle School, Ms. Heidi Laparo, Assistant Principal, Bunsold Middle School, Ms. Kristen Jones, Principal, Mill Valley Elementary, Ms. Carol Lentz, Principal, Raymond Elementary, Ms. Tanya Ramey, Principal, Ohio High Point Career Center, and the MEVSD Board of Education, Ms. Sue Devine, President, Ms. Nan Savage, Vice President, Mr. Jermaine Ferguson, Mr. Bill Keck, and Mr. Dick Smith. Thank you for all that you do for our schools and students. Please be seated.
Good evening. My name is Melanie Moore Flores from MHS. Would the senior members of the choir please come forward? At this time, please rise as we join in the singing of the Marysville Alma Mater. Please be seated. We will now enjoy the performance of the choir as they sing The Road Home, adapted by Stephen Paulus under the direction of Ms. Brianna Bizarro, choir director.
Good evening. I'm Ria Singh from Marysville High School. The designation of valedictorian is given to the top scholars in a graduating class. This year, we have 78 valedictorians who have achieved this high level of academic excellence. The criteria for being a valedictorian is having a 4.1 GPA or higher. Valedictorians were recently recognized at our award assemblies and are noted in your program with a letter V next to their name. Valedictorians, please rise and accept acknowledgement from your fellow students and our audience.
Good evening. My name is Megan Morey, and I'm from MHS. The President's Education Awards Program has been recognizing students' excellence and achievement since 1983. Elementary, middle, and high school students are honored each year with a certificate from the President for their academic achievement and hard work. High school students receiving this recognition have achieved the following requirements: a 7th semester GPA of 3.5 on a 4.0 scale, scored college ready on the ACT, and followed a college prep curriculum. Those of you who have received the Presidential Award of Educational Excellence, please rise to be recognized at this time. Congratulations, you may be seated.
Good evening. My name is Alyssa Scott from Marysville High School. It is my pleasure to recognize the students who earned the State of Ohio Honors Diploma. The State Board of Education established criteria for high school students to obtain honors diplomas in the state of Ohio. An academic honors diploma recognizes students who have exceeded graduation requirements in the following ways. Students have earned higher level credits or more credits in mathematics, science, and social studies. Students have earned world language credits, and students must possess a GPA of 3.5 or higher with an ACT score of 27 or an SAT score of 1210. The students receiving the State of Ohio Honors Diploma, please rise. Congratulations on earning your Ohio Honors Diploma. Please be seated.
9 years ago, Columbus State and Marysville Early College embarked on an exciting journey to start a one-of-a-kind STEM early college high school. I am honored to recognize graduates tonight who received their Columbus State Associate's degree last week. Please rise and remain standing when I call your name. Those who earned the associate's degree, along with myself, are Anna Downey, Jared Larius, Francesca Liberon, Cannon Mosier, Princess Pena, and Trevor Watson. Congratulations, fellow graduates. Please be seated. Each year, we have students make the decision to join our military and serve our country. At this time, we would like to recognize those students who have made that commitment. Please rise and remain standing until all names are read. Please hold your applause until all names have been called. Nicholas Boussard, U.S. Army National Guard. Maddox Dodge, U.S. Marine Corps. Isaac Hodges, U.S. Navy. Kane James, U.S. Army. Nevaeh Natividad, U.S. Air Force. Dylan Pullins, U.S. Marine Corps. Arbiana Schmutz, U.S. Coast Guard Academy. Sydney Shaw, U.S. Air Force. Caleb Willis, U.S. Army National Guard. And Elijah York, U.S. Army. Graduates, please be seated.
It is now my pleasure to introduce our valedictorian speakers for this evening. Chloe Ballard will give the address as valedictorian from Marysville Early College High School, and Brooke Williams will give the address as valedictorian from Marysville High School.
Welcome, family, friends, loved ones, MEVSD Board of Education, Superintendent Mrs. Allen, distinguished faculty members, and honored guests. Thank you for taking your time to be here to celebrate this momentous day with the Marysville graduating class of 2023. My name is Chloe Ballard, and it is a great honor and privilege as one of the ECHS valedictorians to speak as a representative of the senior class this evening. It would not be an exaggeration to say our journey to this point has been like a roller coaster ride, filled with many highs and extreme lows of online schooling and missing out on some anticipated school functions. Our experience has been unique to say the least, but ultimately has taught us resilience in the face of the unknown, which will serve us well considering none of us really know what to expect next or what our futures will look like. For some of us, school came naturally and will be remembered as some of the best years of their lives. For others, it was challenging, frustrating, awkward, and they're relieved to finally be done. Regardless of how we each individually felt, these years ultimately shaped the adults we will become. We grew up together, maybe choosing different paths to get through it, but at the end of the day, we leave here with a high school diploma and an open-ended future. While it is sad to say this is the end of our journey together, I'm reminded of a quote from C.S. Lewis. There are far, far better things ahead than what we leave behind. What we leave behind are the memories that will sustain us for a lifetime and make us laugh as we grow older. The memories of our time together include our friends, our teachers and coaches, our parents and mentors, and the people here with us today, as well as those we have lost. These memories will be cherished and tucked away to provide comfort as we try to figure out what life looks like next. I think we all believe what comes next is a bright and hopeful future that this school has helped prepare us for. Remember those silly habits of mind that we've been taught throughout high school? Flexibility, outside-the-box thinking, resilience, communication, collaboration, empathy, and self-sufficiency? They don't seem so silly now because these are the habits that we'll need to have a successful future. Whether your plan is to go into the workforce, become a proud member of our military, become a stay-at-home parent, become a doctor, or become your own business owner, those habits in mind are essential building blocks to help navigate life. I also believe no matter what career path we choose, one of the most important actions we can take is to be kind to one another. In a world filled with chaos, we have to be willing to help one another, take care of one another, and be willing to listen to one another. In closing, I hope we leave here today proud of what we accomplished and excited for what's yet to come. Congratulations to the graduating class of 2023.
I am honored to have the opportunity to speak about such an astounding group today. The class of 2023 has had so many experiences over these past 4 years. We may not have been seniors when COVID took over our world, but we were on the other end of the deal. We were freshmen. Imagine entering high school with all of the regular fear and excitement, going from worrying about your biology grade to wondering when you will attend class in person again. A fun fact about our class was that we never had the same schedule twice. Because of this, we had to adapt. Every year, something would change due to COVID. Those 3 words were heard more over these past 4 years than any others. Our freshman year of spring sports was canceled due to COVID. Our sophomore homecoming was nixed due to COVID. Student sections at games were eliminated due to COVID. I mean, I would do anything to borrow one more stalk of corn from the side of the road for Hick Night. We have been through more changes and challenges than any class ever. Each one we overcame. Maybe because we had to, or perhaps because we were up for the challenge. Instead of folding under the pressure, the pandemic exposed our sheer goodness as people. Regardless of our unique circumstances, high school only happens once, and it goes by fast. I seriously feel like the first day of freshman year was yesterday. I'm 14, sitting in my first period World Studies class with Mr. Ramfast, listening to Manic Monday. Next thing I know, I'm picking up my cap and gown from Waller in the office. Our class had to realize fast how fast this time goes, and not to take a second of it for granted. I believe we truly got everything out of those 4 years that we could. I play for the softball team here. One thing we're always talking about, especially this year with 9 seniors, is leaving everything you have on the field. You never want to look back and wish you would have done more. You never want to look back with regrets. I believe our class did just that. We left it all on the field. Our high school experience definitely wasn't everybody's normal, but it was ours. One motto I personally like to go by is everything happens for a reason. I wouldn't change a thing about the way that our high school experience turned out. Yes, I may wish for a sophomore homecoming or another football season in the pit, but I won't spend my time wishing and wondering. I'll spend my time reminiscing. I'll reminisce on all the times that we did have and the experiences that I wouldn't trade for the world. People naturally crave normalcy, but normal's boring. The class of 23 got to have one of the most unique high school experiences ever. Not many other people can say they went through a global pandemic during their first 2 years of high school. Overcoming that challenge shaped us into who we are today, inspiring our goodness to come forth. We gained the skills of being able to adapt, accept, and move forward. Our class did some pretty spectacular things, even with the shorter amount of time. We have some of the most talented sports teams, bands, plays, musicals, and clubs that have ever gone through Marysville. We also may hold the record for most parking warnings. After you pass junior year, you can park in the teacher's lot, right? And I'm pretty sure buying a parking pass is optional. Our time here may have been cut short, but our accomplishments do not reflect that in the slightest. Some of my greatest memories were made right here at Impact Stadium. I'll never forget storming the field after a big football win, country roads playing from the speakers. I think we only trampled someone once or twice. I would like to thank the teachers, coaches, administrators at Marysville for their endless support over these past 4 years. I would also like to thank our parents. We truly worked as a team to get to where we are today. Most importantly, I would like to thank this class for being resilient, hardworking, and persevering all the way to the end. We made it. With all the craziness we have endured over these past 4 years, I want to leave you with a quote from Luke Bryan. I believe this world ain't half as bad as it looks. I believe most people are good. Thank you and good luck to each and every one of you in the class of 2023.
Good evening, Marysville class of 2023, families and friends. I'm Jennifer Hinderer, and I have the honor of serving as the principal of the Marysville Early College High School. This is my first year in this role, and allow me to say that if the class of 2023 greets the new experiences on the horizon with the grace with which I have been welcomed, you have an amazing future ahead of you. The grace you display, it really isn't all that surprising. Looking back on the 4 years that got you to this moment, not a single year of high school looked the same as the last. The journey you faced in those 4 years could have never been predicted when you walked into high school on your first day of freshman year. You met every obstacle, each challenge and change with grace. And then you approached every year and every opportunity and experience with gratitude and enthusiasm. You excelled academically and athletically and in your extracurriculars. You built programs and started new traditions. You were leaders. You broke records for attendance at school dances, and with this class, you never knew what you were going to see in the pit on a Friday night. When you saw an opportunity, you were grateful and you ran with it. Everywhere you went, you left things better than when you found it. Classes that come after you will benefit from what you built. And now you're graduating. You might be feeling overjoyed, impatient, perhaps a little scared of the unpredictability that is to come. This is my 13th year standing on this field and being a part of this ceremony. I've attended as a teacher, a parent, a friend, and an administrator. I know the power in this tradition and in the legacy of being a part of the Marysville community. And the heart of that power is that you are right now in the company of people who love you and support you. It's rare and it's special. Parents, families, friends, staff, it was your support and your love that made it possible for these exceptional students to approach their high school career with gratitude and enthusiasm. Students, when you're faced with adversity and challenges on the path to your greatness, as you no doubt will be, remember that we are still with you. Remember that this community still stands behind you. Remember what you built in high school against impossible to predict obstacles. And when you're standing on that highest mountain or the brightest stage or graduating from the program of your dreams, come back and tell us about it. I promise we want to celebrate right along with you, because what gives our great moments meaning are the people we love and get to share it with. And at the end of the day, that's what you'll remember most about high school. So class of 2023, what I'm wishing for you is that you carry your grace, your gratitude, enthusiasm, and love with you in all that you do. Congratulations, class of 2023.
Okay. Good evening. My name is Ken Chafin, and I feel so privileged to stand before you this evening as the principal of Marysville High School to celebrate a truly remarkable graduating class of 2023. As I told our students at graduation practice, I find it incredible to think that in 1879, the first graduating class of Marysville schools included a grand total of 5 students. This evening, in the 144th ceremony, we will graduate 469 seniors. For this speech, I'll be using the reflections, memories, and stories about our students directly from the staff at Marysville High School. The prevailing adjective that our staff used to describe our graduating students was persistent, which is also one of our habits of mind. The middle years of your high school experiences were challenging on unprecedented levels. You had the opportunity to choose to be bitter or get better, and you chose the latter. Remember, 90% of your life is about how you respond. The next adjective that our staff has used to describe you is competitive. You've proven that you understand the importance of going after what you want. Do not sit back and just let life happen to you. The world will not always be fully honest with you. So let me drop some absolute truth on you this evening. Life is a competition. When you want something, you're going to have to beat somebody out to get it. That's the truth. Please notice I did not say you have to be a little bit better or just give it your best shot. Go after what you want. As our staff said, you are competitive, and competitors tend to find ways to win. One of the examples would be receiving $2.7 million in scholarships this year, which is a recent record for MHS. It is my sincerest hope and my prayer that you get everything that you dream about in life at the exact moment you are meant to have it. It's true we have separate buildings, but we are all monarchs with one heartbeat. Collectively, MHS and ECHS are truly accomplished. And I'm going to give a few examples here. The one, superior rating at marching band, OMEA for the 12th straight year, 2 grand championships for Swingers Unlimited. Well, we really know it was 3. The FFA welding team with a state title and a top 10 finish overall in the state. Our first district championship in girls basketball. 13 wrestlers sent to state between boys and girls wrestling. Senior Callie Lang winning both her first and second state title. And last night I had the privilege to help hand out district championship medals to our girls softball team for the 2nd year in a row. It has been my absolute pleasure to be there and to be your biggest fan in the moments that have mattered most to you. For one final time, as students in Marysville schools, I want you to hear the following. Number 1, we respect you. Number 2, we love you. And number 3, we are proud of you. To Superintendent Diane Allen, Board President Sue Devine, and the entire Marysville Schools Board of Education, on behalf of Principal Scott Stackhouse of Tri-Academy and Principal Jen Hinder at ECHS, I would now like to certify that all 469 candidates for graduation before you this evening have indeed met all requirements outlined by the Ohio Department of Education and are eligible to receive their diploma as a graduate of Marysville Schools. Please join me in welcoming Board President Sue Devine to the podium with a warm round of applause.
Good evening, Mr. Chafin, Ms. Hinder, Mr. Stackhouse, Superintendent Allen. What a special night this is. On behalf of the Marysville Exempted Village School District Board of Education, I'm honored to accept the class of 2023. First, I'd like to thank our staff, our families, and our community for supporting these students in so many ways. Students, as you know, your high school experience has been unique, to say the least. Starting with your freshman year in 2019, you have lived and learned the value of relationships and mentors, Zoom meetings, in-person connections, resiliency, flexibility, and teamwork. If you want to know the truth, I think you have all shown us what it means to be a monarch. You've supported each other, you've learned from mistakes and grown stronger as a result. You've set firsts and broken records. Your charitable hearts inspired so many, and you've done it all with class. We're so proud of each and every one of you and excited to see what the future holds. Please know the doors are always open here. We want to know how you're doing, and we would love you to come back and mentor our future monarchs. Congratulations and good luck, class of 2023. Thank you so much for making us proud to be monarchs.
And now the moment we have been waiting for, the presentation of diplomas. Jonathan Paul Kern, presented by Brooke Young. Nolan Michael French, presented by Nick Blake. Sage Louise Pauley, presented by Brian Stoddard. Kira Nicole Beckley, presented by Angie Adkins. Okay. Valeria Valentina Mejias Rodriguez, presented by Elizabeth Adams. Brianna Nicole Stace. Camila Guadalupe Pablo, valedictorian. Chase Michael Adkins. Matthew Alexander Perry. Cameron Denise Partlow, presented by Sherry Anderson. Jennifer Ellen Dillard, presented by Luke Ahern. Stella Kate Young. Stephen Pham Din. Caitlin Diana Martinez Torres. Andrew Wilson Hahn. Riley Rayanne Marie Bowser, presented by Tamara Ardrey. Emma Mae Miller. Griffin Wade Sherwood. Brian Richard Rodock. Michaela Ann Shreve, presented by Natalie Askew. Taylor Russell Verschow. Noah Michael Bowers, presented by Samantha Austin. Jaden Guy James Lewis, presented by Nate Andrews. Daniel Michael Castor. Callie Elise Lang, presented by Sean Andrews. Jude Hugh Pullen. Dylan Blair, presented by Brian Ash. Mason Andrew Ice, presented by Zach Balch. Grant William Turk. Judah Aaron Purnell, presented by Allison Beers. Isabella Ann Beanie, presented by Matthew Beanie. Braden Adam Deere, valedictorian, presented by Nick Blake. Coy William Nicholson, presented by Avis Beal. Aiden Samuel Kirsten. Sydney Taylor Shaw. Chase Harrison Storr, valedictorian. Lilia Ruth Anna Vetrix, presented by Brianna Bizarro. Hayden Michael Ward. Joseph Burke Digney. Kennedy Jade, presented by Eric Brack. Gabriella Lynn Pyers, presented by Leslie Boy. Alexander Lee Hornsby. Elena Sophia Albanese, presented by Catherine Boylan. Noah Shima. Chloe Michelle Ballard, valedictorian. Donasia Christine Smith. Madison Christine Eichhorn. Robert James Waterman. Matthew Colt Shepard, valedictorian. Leah Marie Brown, valedictorian, presented by Dee Brown.
Amy Ann Boucher, presented by Aaron Brown. Jackson Conrad Little, presented by John Brown. Wesley David McHenry. Aiden Michael Meeker. Grayson James Nemi, valedictorian. Riley Louise Dundon, valedictorian, presented by Don Burns. Nicholas Benjamin Weaver, valedictorian. Megan James Gregory. Francesca Tuazon Liberin, valedictorian presented by Stephanie Brown. Molly Rose Gregory. Chloe Marie Carvor, presented by Victoria Carvor. Aiden Michael Marbaugh, valedictorian, presented by Ken Chafin. Olivia Suzanne Codner, presented by Denise Kastner. Samuel Raj Arunathan, presented by Lewis Christian. Morgan Elizabeth Schick, valedictorian. How was it?
Oh, not too bad.
Trevor Lewis Hoyt. Abigail Page Christian, presented by Amy Christian. Dylan James Pullins. Landon Scott Heckel, presented by School Resource Officer Eric Collier. Andrew Douglas Schaub. Joseph William Roush, valedictorian. Gage Evan Sicilian. Braden Michael Gray, presented by Craig Conley. Maria Grace Spurgeon, presented by Rochelle Conrad. Morgan William Kern. Sarah Marie Stooksbury. Malia Yayoka Burkhart. Kimberly Jean Reese, presented by Tamara Cooper. I realized as soon as I read it. Ian Nicholas Connor Hall, presented by Brian Count. Riley Nicole Ellington. Caitlin Elizabeth Palmore, valedictorian, presented by Tim Crane. Pauline Kurt Gatula. Ella Lauren Crane. Joseph Thomas Hazelbaker, valedictorian. Jonah Mark Brake, presented by Tara Cromwell. Dana Nicole Hughes. Nolani Saludo Ferguson, valedictorian, presented by Dr. Beth Curran. Connor Charles MacArthur Senedak.
Ivy Louise Kubota. Samantha Marie Wright. Abigail Ann Siebers. Jada Brianne Thompson, presented by Angela Counts. Andrew Quinn Howard, presented by Steve Devine. Blake David Counts. Abigail Lynn Altizer, presented by Lois Everett. Savannah Marie Parker, presented by Christina Daniel. Justin Dakota Bernard, valedictorian. William Christopher Grubbs, presented by Paul Devine. Emma Reese Brock. Griffin Wayne Miller, presented by Joy Downing. Morgan Page Fetzer, valedictorian. Blake Montana Nace, presented by Mark Easton. Grayson Nicholas Hackett, valedictorian. Victoria Lynn Grunenwald, presented by Cassie Elmlinger. Xavier Andrew Heller. Bryce Guernsey Baldwin, presented by Rachel Felicity. Paige Elizabeth Kruger, valedictorian. Logan Brian Clendenin. Julie Dang Nguyen, valedictorian. Nevin Michael Digney, presented by Mark Fensel. Gabriel Ryan Tangeman, valedictorian. Harmony Noel Diggs, presented by Student Resource Officer Amy Finley. Lucille Ann Vidito. Anna Michelle Downey, valedictorian. Liam Isaiah White. Caitlin Eileen Grauman. Benjamin Daniel Parsons, presented by Stephen Fannin. Faith Marie Mackey, valedictorian. Blair Ashlyn Fairchild, valedictorian, presented by Renee Fairchild. Nicholas Michael McClish. Brooke Nicole Travis, presented by Jessica Fedor. Jamin Elizabeth Moore. Shannon Elizabeth Rice, presented by Kelly Friend. Grayson Charles Stanford, valedictorian. Lydia Renee Solar. Jasmine Christine Sean, presented by Inez Finley. Jonathan Henry Steinmetz, presented by Brian Gates. Kurt Austin Ferryman. Ethan Scott Clay, presented by Anda Goodman. Aubrey K. Jarby. Madeline Grace McClurg. Dennis Michael Mathis. Madeline Grace Cannon, presented by Linda Gordon. Jason Earl Patch. Erin Kimberly Guth. Jenna Morgan Riley. Dominique Susay Mata, valedictorian, presented by Wendy Grimm. Jacob Lee Wolf. Justin Davion and Andrick, presented by Kelly Hammersmith. Treston Paul Young. Victoria Nicole Conrad. Haley Elizabeth Conrad, presented by Morgan Gutenberg. Madison Lynn Lowe. Peyton Mackenzie Pierce, valedictorian. Allison Renee McClellan. Mac Robert Hamilton, valedictorian, presented by Scott Hamilton. Brandon Matthew McCoy. Jillian D. Shainlib, presented by Elizabeth Hammond. Mason Liam McCoy. Connor John Raybold, presented by Ashley Hardbarger. Lily Jade Allen, presented by Shelley Hauser. Bethany Renee Shore, presented by Cindy Harlan. Stella Jane Amrine, valedictorian. Dylan McKinley Harper, presented by Carlene Harper. Georgia Ray Hamilton. Caitlin Rose Cruikshank, valedictorian, presented by Abby Helmuth. Marcella Ruby Joy Johnson. Felicia Marie Gonzalez. Lainey Sue Jolliffe. Brennan Gregory Booth, presented by Bailey Hemmelgarn. Camila Sofia Lopez Borrero. Cayman Brian Chandler. Erin Brianna Mitchell. Ashlyn Joelle Etherington. Marissa Elizabeth Snyder. Alicia Deandra Hagedorn. Camden Thaddeus Hicks, presented by Lori Hicks. Brianna Diane Davis, presented by Doug Hughes. Julia Christine Bond, presented by Rob Hildreth. Nicole Marie Duff. Caroline Nicole Cloud. William Isaac Hammersmith. Rachel Jolie Cunningham. Ethan Andrew Hartsfield, valedictorian. Logan Alec Brunswick, valedictorian, presented by Dustin Jasinski. Raghav Jagan, valedictorian. Evan Joseph Collins, presented by Brent Johnson. Sophia Elena Kais. DeQuise Jamail J. Sean French. Brooklyn Madison Konopka. Ava Beverly Krutowskis, valedictorian. Colin Dwight Lowry. Jared Matthew Larius. Stevie Rajesh. Griffin Brent Johnson, valedictorian. Aiden Brian Raymond.
Anthony Michael Cardine, presented by Christopher Johnson. Jada Lynn Teft. Evan Michael Blake Collins. Bryce Logan Torres. Caden Anthony Hatfield. Carly Ryan Amrine, presented by Katie Johnson. Gavin Dane Roush. Macy Michelle Powers, presented by Bill Keck. Zachariah Michael Ropp. Jonathan Howard Gear, presented by Mark Kirsch. Mason Anthony Valencia. Caleb Winston Skidmore. Juana Marquez Camargo, presented by Dr. Susan Kukas. Tyler Jeffrey Sprague, valedictorian. Pedro Alexander Pu Mejia. Brianna Page Carpenter, presented by Catherine Kozak. Emily Ann Stokes. Emma Lorraine Feldshaw, valedictorian, presented by Michelle Croft. Sarah K. Fosnaw. Amelia Eve Kieber, valedictorian. Jacob Allen Hibbs. Madeline Marie Leibarger. Haley Renee Kearns. Kaylee Nicole Clemens, presented by Catherine Langhouse. Etan Niga Ann Sova. Darian Charles Denon. Gabriel Kane Dobert. Emily Ann Willis. Larissa Michelle Hemker. Caleb Alexander Nichols, presented by Megan Laszlo. Preston Maddox Herring, valedictorian. Isabella Elizabeth Deal, presented by Heather Leckie. Kenzie Mae Jackson, valedictorian. Princess Angeline David Pena, valedictorian. Adam Joseph Knowles. Evan Michael George, presented by Julie Litzel. Daniel Milligan Cruz. Avery Marie Prohaska, valedictorian. Lily Grace Cunningham, presented by Jody Lowry. Emily Grace Williams, valedictorian. Megan Teresa Maury, valedictorian, presented by Cody McLean. Jocelyn K. Smith, valedictorian, presented by Janie Martindale. Emerson Lee Trapp. Devin Robert Boatwright, presented by Joseph McSwords. Matthew Edward Volrath. Nicholas Gatlin Wallace Bussard. Megan Elaine Daniel, presented by Lisa Mellish. Julia Ruth Hawkins. Matthew Joseph Smith, valedictorian. Jack William Maupin. Madison Ann Bliss, presented by Tim Merrick. Margarita Messina. Brady Mark Seger, valedictorian, presented by Joel Metzger. Garen Rain Miller. Lexus May Shreve, presented by Rachel Meyer. Mason Christopher Roby. Tyler Anthony Cavalucci, presented by Chance Nelson. Abby Rose Shaw. Alton Maddox Dobbins. Chesden Avery Vachinese. Marcos Anthony Bab Galvis. Ava Madison Pratt, presented by Aaron Morrison. Kane Balai James. Bismarck Lynn Curry, presented by Janae Mulvane. Logan Curtis Moody. Kira Tyan Gonzalez. Cody Alexander Murdoch. Michael Alexander Nauman. Matthew Eric Pividori. Catherine Isabel Nichols, presented by Sarah Nichols. Ethan Dale Skiles. Samuel Warren Skidmore, presented by Beth Nickel. Jeremy Hunter Taylor. Zachary Norman Spalding. Grant Alexander Urban. Sean Rossi Wren. Seth Michael Thomas White. Cedric Tiger Miyajima. Sean Douglas Wright. Wyatt Braden Derringer, presented by Bridget Nickel. Kylie Lynn Sanford, presented by Rachel Payne. Richard Arlo Sinclair III, presented by Tanya Pachter. Nathaniel James Fitch, presented by Bethany Purdue. Reagan Nicole Young. Alec Diego Mejia.
Jordan Deshaun Jones, presented by Austin Farr. Emma Grace Flint, presented by Deborah Ponce. Elijah Wade Perkins. Andis Eduardo Marquez Castellan. Zachary Anthony Farr. Baden Tyler Fleury, presented by Courtney Potts. Elizabeth May Klein, presented by Kimberly Porter. Braylon Edward Mans, presented by Tim Powers. Alexis Norcross Sales. Chance Gabriel Stevens, presented by Summer Priest. Colton Michael Powers, presented by Tom Powers. Mila Free Barthel, presented by Jenna Pruden. Rhea Singh, valedictorian, presented by Linda Prohl. Liana Marie Burkhardt. Caleb Austin Heinischer, presented by Belinda Quisenberry. Natalie Ann Artis, presented by Tanya Ramey. Hannah Nicole Isaacs. Maya Elizabeth Olson. Lydia Grace Johnson. Matthew Robert Griffin, presented by Lauren Rebello. Ethan William Moeller. Jaden Ella Roars, valedictorian, presented by Nicole Roars. Emily Rose Millette. Mario Jr. Areola, presented by Stephen Scherer. Melanie Nicole Moore Flores, valedictorian. Meredith Jane Milligan. Andres Eduardo Munoz Paredes. Aubriana Renee Schmutz, valedictorian, presented by Ashton Schmutz. Emma Hope Zedpelski, valedictorian, presented by Bill Romine. Philip Wendell Baker, presented by Evan C. Donald Joseph Adams Jr., presented by Aaron Rossi. Taylor David Bustamante, valedictorian. Brody Lee Collins. Britton Allen Enzel. Nasir Lee Smith. Hayden Michael Seeley. Jacqueline Bryce Richclick, valedictorian, presented by Jennifer Richclick. Brianna Lee Simpkins. Garland Grace Bix, valedictorian, presented by Katie Schneider. Paige Annabelle Thalman. Alex Angelo Chatala, presented by Ricky Schultz. Isaiah Daniel Warnicki. Eric Martin Herman, valedictorian. Camry Marie Lee, valedictorian, presented by Vera Spencer. Grant Roy Young. Jason Matthew Boblet, presented by Scott Stackhouse. Isabella Opal Fox, presented by Jeremy Segner. Alexander Stephen Carpenter. Lena Paulina Rao, presented by Hannah Shannon. Tyler Eugene Catterson. Kirsten Lynn Chambers, presented by Grant Smith. Jason Michael Dahm. Tristan James Tagg. Seth Holton Dalton. Andrew Paul Watkins, valedictorian. Jaden Philip Martin Deerdorf. William Christian Mason, valedictorian, presented by Tammy Smith. Caden Omar Elson. Caden Ryan Hamp, presented by Jody Springer. Isabel Estelle Ferris Carmichael. Brenna Hope Rogers. Alexander James Gerard. Abigail Renee Wilkerson. Selena Renee Hines. Mason Elizabeth Faring Walls, presented by Cassandra St. John. Bailey Adeline Nelson. Evan James Parrott, presented by Charlene Stanley. Zachary Thomas Robinson. Jessica Sue Badgent, presented by Brian Stoddard. James Scott Roth. Piper Raylan Michael. Muhaymin Hamdi Saad. McKenna Catherine Smith. Emma Lynn Schnablin. Madison Nicole Strauss, presented by Matt Strauss. Tiffany Lynn Sipe. Bryn Michelle Hodem, valedictorian, presented by Luke Sundermeyer. Janome Sine Nicole Woodfork. Congrats. Lindsay Marie Megan. Parker David Stackhouse. Jacob Alexander Polk. Heath Franklin Medley, presented by Ashley Thompson. Isabella Mary Rodriguez Saramer. Caitlin Marie Webb, presented by Curtis Thompson. Julia Marie Sadler.
Hannah Carolyn Thompson, valedictorian. Carson Lacey Bramblett, presented by Terry Waller. Jordan Scott Anspaugh, presented by Christine Todd. Blaze Elijah Hall. Noah Lee James Beaver. Christian Scott McCartney. Brady Christopher Harvey. Lucas Cameron Miller. Savannah Joe Organ, presented by Betsy Troughton. Hannah Elizabeth Pack. Grace Marie Walker, presented by Ryan Walker. Aubrey K. Reese. Jonathan Ray Cusack, presented by Kate Walters. Caleb Baker Willis. Harmony Noel Helmuth. Nathan Hayes Moldor, presented by Michael Wan. Jasmine K. Marcus. Cannon Levi Moser, valedictorian. Nicholas Joseph Hart, presented by Jennifer Wanamaker. Hayden Thomas Gledhill, presented by Kim Wegley. Ida Eleonora Lindstrom. Shelby Nicole Langhert. Alyssa Marie Rodman, valedictorian. Jessica Elizabeth Leflang, presented by Courtney Weichert. Jacob Alexander Schaefer, valedictorian. Braden Edward Graves, presented by Josh Weichert. Samantha Lynn Gutter, presented by Whitney Wasco. Connor James Smith. Alexander Jordan Orr. Carson Perry Taylor. Avienda Renee Decker, presented by Abby Watson. Sean Che, valedictorian. Maria Sophia Danielle Catolpos Franco, valedictorian. Daniel Aiden Doherty, valedictorian, presented by Jonathan Weithman. Rex Bompong, valedictorian, presented by Jennifer Watts. Alyssa Jane Scott, valedictorian. Madeline Marie Hansen, presented by Jared Weiss. Sarah Catherine Wiegand, valedictorian. Isaac Joseph Hodges. Lucia Renee Johantis, valedictorian, presented by Jonathan Wing. Paige Elizabeth Rader. Kelsey Mackenzie Murphy, valedictorian. Mia Erin Scobie. Jack William Shepard. Shane Donovan Shannonhouse. Naveen Karthik Naveen Valen, presented by Jason Worth. Joseph Riley Powers, presented by Lindsay Welk. Jaron Nathaniel Herbon, valedictorian. Haley Elizabeth Huffman, presented by Douglas Weller. Wyatt Russell Lewis. Taryn Lynn Bourne, presented by Sean Williams. Hunter Kenton Keller, presented by Amanda Wink. Nicholas Vale Green. Jordan Nicole Ledley. Chloe Marie Heminger. Gabri Marie Lee, valedictorian. Sarah Ashley King. Avery Alexis Murphy, valedictorian. Kennedy Lynn Clare. Trevor Wayne Watson. Shane Matthew McMahon. Ava Elizabeth Wilkerson, valedictorian. Natalie Marie McNicholas. Garrett Mason Bozold, presented by Brooke Young. Skylar Catherine North. Maddox Caden Dodge.
I'm doing it. I'm following.
Regan Denise Trock, valedictorian. Haley Michelle Winans. Alexandra Marie Green. Jaden Radley Dunlap. Brooke Alice Williams, valedictorian. Brody Allen Hall. William De Jesus Gonzalez Lopez, presented by Madison Yoakum. Ryan Joseph McGinley. Carlos Andres Gutierrez Marquez. Joseph Glenn McNeil. Alexis Ann McKinnon. Avery Sinclair Meeker. Miles Cody Young, presented by Heidi Young. Nivea Mariana Natividad. Cole Jeffrey Pombert, presented by Michael Young. Zachary Mason Taylor. Terry Ray Tubes. Noah John Troughton. Cole Michael Brenneman. Caden Michael Weingard Johnson.
All right, you can close it out.
Class of 2023, please stand.
Congratulations. It is our honor to say that you may now move your tassels to the left side as graduates of Marysville Schools.
Graduates, on the count of 3, it's time to toss your caps in the air. 1, 2, 3. Good job.
I got you. There you are. Turn the mic off so no kids get to it.